I am live. I need to make an intro. I have. What am I doing here this week? Let me look at the comments. Comments. Jeremiah, howdy. Missy Fix, my favorite person in the world. Let's see. Hounds, how's it going, everyone? We are doing good. So I, real quick, I threw up a link here in the comments that I just got the audio book, and this is Nicholas Isaac's book, Cat Dog Chronicles. So if anybody wants to check it out, go to there. It has an audio thing now. Real quick. Who else? Timothy Brink. He's here. Who dat? Great. It's a midget out there. We got some jokes tonight. All right, guys. Free casting. We got Sonny Topia on tonight. We got Brice on the night. He's a vet. Sonny's doing some dinners, and he'll talk about it. I'm going to kick him on. And then we'll see. He'll tell you everything about it. I'll tell you about my story. I don't know. I got a story. I just went down to South Arizona. Brett tried to get me to tell a story, but my microphone, that probably sounds better. Brett tried to get me to tell a story, and I'm horrible at telling stories unless I'm around a campfire. So I'm going to try to do better tonight. Practice. So let's get Jarrod coming on. He hunted with me down south. We'll get him on, tell his side of the story, the lion he caught. I was just chasing him around. Let's get Sonny and Brice on real quick. And we'll talk about Sonny's. He has a dinner coming up down in Bisbee or Benson or somewhere. And then Brice is a vet that hangs around Sonny because Sonny probably pays him to do so. Maybe.
Don't tell all my secrets. Don't tell all my secrets.
Somebody got to hang out with you.
That's right. That's exactly right.
You can't give away all my secrets, Watson.
No. Sonny Topia. You've been a while since you've been on. You've been doing a lot of hunting, I'm sure.
I've been trying to do a bunch of hunting, yeah.
Yep.
I went out today and it was a nightmare today.
Oh, out there in the snow and stuff up north?
Oh, the snow. It was mud.
Oh, I bet it is now. Why don't you give us a little rundown? Give us a little rundown what you've been doing the last couple months, real quick, before we get into everything.
Well, I've run some lion clients, and I've caught some lions. I just kind of made it to where I don't post the stuff I catch anymore. And there's got a bunch of haters on there, and
man.
I just rather not even post them anymore. And I see guys. I see some guys that are successful, and my hat's off to them because it takes work. And it's been fun. We've caught some lions and let some go, and this morning it was just a muddy mess. It was a mess, I didn't cut a track today, but it was more like rain than anything else, anyways. But next week
you better cut a track quick, because they're going to shut units down. They already shut down all the 3s and 2s, and I think 1 in 27 only has 4 lions left.
Well, that's what it had the other day. I don't know what it has now.
Yeah, you're right. Today's Thursday, so who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody's having success, but they're killing everything they catch. I wish they wouldn't do that, but more power to them.
I talk about it a lot. We talked about this. We had made a guy a little bit not angry. He just said, "Why you guys talk so much shit about the snow hunters?" But if I've always said, if you want to hunt a lion, go in the desert. If you want to kill a lion, go in the snow. Know. So we kind of had I need to get a desert hunter on this side and a snow hunter on this side. Let them battle it out, but I don't think there's much. If you want to catch a lion, it's a lot easier in the snow. I'm not saying it's always easy. It's not always easy. There's some tough runs. I mean, I don't like walking in. You walk in 3 foot of snow, you're cramping up, especially if you're not used to it.
Well, I hate when I have to start hunting lions off of my snowmobiles. And so, you're in the deep snow when you're on snowmobile. So whenever you have to get off them snowmobiles. It's a tough. Like last year, I caught a big tom, and it was a mile. It was a mile in a foot and a half of snow. And I don't know if you've ever walked. I'm sure you have, but that's no fun. That's no fun.
No, especially when you get on them hills. Like your legs will cramp up when you have to lift your legs 3 feet and step in the snow. It is no fun. I don't care how tough you are. I have taken. I'm a fat guy. I'm not in shape, but I've taken gym rats. I'm talking gym rats. You know, they're
right.
You know, and they get out there and they start walking those hills, and they can't do it.
Oh, I know.
They fall behind.
You're using muscles that you didn't know that you had.
You know, and I've always, if you want to get in shape to go hike, either go hike a mountain every day or get on that ladder climber in the gyms. A lot of gyms don't have
master.
Those ladder climbers. Where it's that ladder just moves while you go.
Like an escalator.
Yes, that thing will put you in shape. Yeah, go to the malls and walk up the escalator backwards all day, and then you'll get in shape. With the pack on. You're right. So
yeah.
So how'd your season go?
It's gone pretty good so far. It's gone pretty good. Next weekend, I'm going to remember that kid that I caught that bear for, the kid that can't walk? I'm taking him down there in the desert. We're going to hunt dry ground lions for about 4 or 5 days. And then we're going to change gears I got him and 2 other vets that are going to go down there and have a javelina. We're going to hunt javelina on the 9th. And then on the 10th, we're going to hunt in the morning. And then that afternoon, we're going to have kind of a dinner. And it's kind of a dinner that's kind of turned into something really cool that, everybody comes out of the woodwork to come hang out, and we feed them, and we have, door prizes. We have some guns, and people buy raffle tickets to those guns. And we talk about, our organization, and we have some guest speakers there. It's actually turned into a pretty cool thing.
So is this for sportsmen? This is for Sportsmen for Heroes. They're the ones that do it.
Yeah. Sportsmen for Heroes is going to do it. Yeah.
Going to have a cornhole tournament as well.
Yeah, cornhole tournament.
Hey, those get kind of serious sometimes.
Yeah, man.
Some serious dudes are showing up.
I got some dudes that play that cornhole, and they play every day, and they're good. And they're like, "Why don't you jump in?" I'm like, "Shit, I'm worth a darn. I never play this. I don't have time to do that."
Lucky to get it on the board.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah. But that's what I'm really looking forward to having Jackson over there. We're going to take the mules down there, and I got a buddy of mine that's a real big time dry ground lion hunter. His name's Donnie Finn. He's actually the most modern day guy that caught a jaguar in Arizona.
Oh, he caught that back in 2006. Was that?
Yeah, that's my.
No, was it later than that? 13.
It was something like that, somewhere around there, maybe 10 or 11.
I manifested that, Sonny. I manifested it last week. I was down there near where they caught on that jaguar.
Where they caught the new one?
Yeah, and I wanted, man, if that's a bucket list.
That's where we'll be lion hunting right next week. We'll be hunting down there where that new jaguar is. But you seen the video. He got video of the jaguar that he caught, and that sucker, that's a whole different ballgame than a regular lion, because, man, those suckers are aggressive. And you should hear the noise that jaguar was pissed.
They're way bigger than a mountain lion.
Just a bit.
He called game and fish. He called game and fish from the tree and said, "Hey, man, I got a jaguar that I got on a tree." And they're like, "Oh, bullshit." He's like, "No, I'm serious." He's like, "There's no jaguars here." And he's like, "You got any pictures?" He's like, "It's a jaguar." And they wouldn't believe him. Because he wanted them to come out to, kind of, verify. Right. So anyways, they didn't. So anyways, the game and fish met with him like a day or two later. And he saw the video. He's like, "That is a jaguar. And can we have this footage?" He's like, "Nope. You guys had the opportunity to come. You didn't believe me.
You said we didn't have jaguars here."
Yeah. There's one game warden down that way. He might be towards the west a little bit, but I haven't met him personally, and I usually don't have problems with him, but I heard he wasn't very friendly to houndsmen.
No, he wasn't. I think he was a houndsman himself, maybe. I don't know, but I've heard about that same warden that you're talking about, and he was kind of a stickler. But I think he
Yeah.
made it retire. I think he may have retired or something. I don't know.
He's still the one I'm talking about. Is still there.
Is he?
Have you seen
But,
the
you
the
know,
YouTube video from Jason where he caught that
Jason
ocelot?
Miller.
Yeah, where he got
Oh
the
yeah.
ocelot
Yep.
on video as well, right before the jaguar.
Yeah.
Man,
Another
that
super
Jason
rare
Miller,
No,
cat
he
that we have.
he's got some cool stuff on pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said he quit hunting this year just so he can
Right.
do that because he didn't want to get accused of nothing. Which whatever.
Yep.
And he started a YouTube channel with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another
Yeah.
guy that's big time on social media that he runs cameras in 23 and he quit hunting all around just so that he could run his cameras as well for his
Yeah.
social media stuff.
Well, I understand it, even though it's not illegal to run cameras. I mean, and then it's such a big gray area. In order for them to actually bust you, they're going to have to. It's going to be. It has to be a very meticulous case to where they know it's your camera. You're getting the video. You chased that animal and you killed that animal because of your camera.
Right.
So,
Yeah, but you know that I call them fish and fur. Those fish and fur, they're if you do something like that, they're always trying to be noisy and snoop around, and it's just not even worth it, really.
yeah.
Even though
well,
your point is right, because they, you can run cameras, you just, it's just a gray area, like you said.
it's a big gray area. So, and it's going to be a big waste of money on some of the tickets, but it is what it is, and there was over 50% of hunters that voted that out. It wasn't the antis.
But you want to know why? It's because that the BS with the over in 13B on the strip and all these cameras at the water holes.
Mhm.
So people were getting jealous and people were getting, real, just getting jealousy mostly, really.
It just,
But
yeah,
there's
that's
some
all it
guys
is.
are out there running
It-
100 and something cameras. Crazy.
Yeah, but if you look at the harvest numbers over the past 3 or 4 years,
Same.
those cameras didn't do anyone any favors other than taking pictures of deer.
The
They
only
didn't
one,
assist in any way.
the only cameras that would probably do you any good is the phone cameras, and they already got rid of those. And
Well,
I can understand that being unfair chase. You know what I mean?
Presnick,
But
Presnick put it on Facebook yesterday that the statistics of cameras and to where they are today, I think they killed
Yeah.
one less than when they had cameras.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a deer on a camera on a pond, and you go sit on that pond for 30 days. They don't have a deer at that camera every day at 4:30 at that pond in 30 days. What are they might get it 5 times, unless there's really good feed. There's really, you know what I mean? There's something going on there, but it's not like, so you still got to go hunt them. You still got to go hunt them. But
I bet you Miller can tell you exactly what the statistics are as far as animals coming back and forth through his cameras, because he has the best setup, man.
Oh yeah, well that's what he does, and you could genuinely tell that guy was ecstatic. When I don't know if you guys watched his video on the Jaguar, like he made a video about the Jaguar.
Yeah.
You could tell that guy's been.
He got emotional.
Oh, I think if I got a Jaguar in a trio and I didn't lose no dogs and I got some, I'd probably cry too, man. That's a once in a 5 lifetime deal.
That's a freaking epic moment.
Oh,
it is.
That's like that's a houndsman's dream right there.
Oh yeah, or an ocelot,
Yeah.
I'd be scared to get an ocelot because I wouldn't want my dogs to kill it if it came out. And I don't know how. You don't know what they are. We all know Jaguars are mean. You know what I mean? That's just
right.
Listen, go to Interview Stories and Tales, Brett Vaughn, and listen to all those Dale CDs. He tells you the stories. So
and Jason got both cats in the same year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like months apart. It wasn't even.
Yeah.
Was it off of the same camera setup?
No,
I don't think
it's
it's
a different location.
Spot, but I think it's still over there in the Huachucas area, Sierra Vista area.
Yeah.
That's where I think that's where they got an ocelot. I think someone treated an ocelot over there a long while back too.
Oh, did they?
Where's Benny? Yeah. Mike Benny's not on my show. he's too good for me. We can only use Benny once a week. He's probably taking that. But
I tell you the thing about those cameras, just real quick, is I grew up in Missouri and used to use trail cameras back in the day, like when you put those cheap disposable cameras in them. When trail cameras first came around, go to Walmart and buy them for like $20-$30, you know. Using trail cameras in an eastern environment versus a western environment, completely different. You know, you talked about having a camera on a pond or on a tank out here. You may see a deer or the same deer a handful of times in a 30-day period. Now back east, where you can feed and the food sources are obviously way better and different.
Food
that
plot.
to me is the unfair advantage back there. Using cameras out here in the West, it's not even the same. You know, like you said, there's such vast wilderness out here, and the food and water supply is not as good and not as readily available as it is typically in your Midwest and Eastern states. Where, I mean, it's a totally different discussion.
Your guys, those guys back east are sitting in a deer stand and seeing the same 2-point come through every day.
Exactly. I know exactly what time he's coming through, what trail he's coming down. I mean, everything down to the minute.
I'd be a crappy hunter back east because I have no patience to sit from daylight.
And
you'd be up there eating little Debbie's in your tree stand, making all kinds of noise, wouldn't you?
They climb up in the morning and climb out at night. You know, I go sit in a blind, and about 45 minutes later, I'm like, maybe I'll go walk these canyons.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a fisherman. I'm the same way.
Yeah. So, speaking of Kevin Presmick, Mr. Negative Nancy Kevin, always talking shit, telling, he said, you always keep telling me he's a good guy, on the internet, he's just kind of butthole. But, he was just talking shit about don't even help out Colorado because it's not going to make a difference. I just kind of.
He is an opinionated
I get
sucker.
It.
And I honestly think, Chris, I think he does that just to get a rise out of most people.
I think so too, because I do the same thing. You know what I mean? But dang, that rubs a lot of people wrong. Everybody has hope, So, but
no, he's actually a really, really good guy. He really is. But he is. You would never think that by Facebook.
No, absolutely not. If you
I get on there just to see what Kevin has to say today.
When I see a post, and I stay off of Hunt, I don't post on Hunt Arizona. It pops up. When I see a post, I'm all $100. Kevin said something on this.
Oh, guaranteed.
Down, and there's Kevin, and there's 100. Him arguing with 5 different people every time.
Right.
It's just like popcorn time.
I seen him arguing the other day with those Boykins.
Oh,
yeah.
We talked about Facebook drama on Monday night. I'm sure you've seen all the drama between Boykin and Chris Todd.
Right.
I didn't say their names last time, but I'll say
that Chris Todd's for real. He is.
Well, they're all for real. They all catch lions.
But I mean, he's a dirt dry ground lion hunter, and he's pretty good. And I don't know what people have, against him, but the guy's
because he's not. I tell you what, he's not social. He doesn't call you and say, "Hey, buddy." He doesn't. He just gets on and does his thing and gets off. You know what I mean? Right. You could go ask 10 people that know Chris and 10 people, 100 people know Chris, 100 people know Carl. Just know him, and you'll get a shit ton of bad comments about Chris. You'll get a shit ton of bad comments about Todd. Same with you, me, anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody has their opinions. I've had people try to call me out and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm camped right here. I live here. I don't care. I don't care what you think of me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think they get too carried away. And if you don't want no drama, stay off social media.
Yeah, that's why I quit posting, the lions that I caught and stuff. I just quit posting that.
I tell you one thing I've noticed about social media here in the past month or so, there are a lot of new fake accounts getting on these hunting pages asking some outlandish questions and some really goofy stuff. And when you go like look at these people, it just seems like maybe some of these anti-hunting groups are joining these pages, and
Oh, I bet.
I mean it's just crazy.
No, I bet. What's going on over there, Chris?
Oh, I think I got a bad battery in my camera and it's not letting it charge for some reason.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's been. I got to change batteries, and all my batteries are up north. So, yeah, I got home Saturday at about 11 at night from the border, and then left about 2 the next day. So, unloaded dogs, fed everything, loaded them back up the next day, and came down here.
How many days did you stay down there hunting?
We got down there Sunday and stayed till the following Saturday.
Oh, awesome, dude.
They weren't moving. They weren't moving. We caught a little Tom. You know, Texan guys were down there and they were happy with it. It was a legal cat, but
it's all right.
Know, when you're from an area that, you know, we could talk about that all day long, especially, you know, like that bear you got. You got a little bear for that kid, but there's always exceptions. You know what I mean? I killed a female lion for a cancer kid. Like, you know, I had a spinal bifida girl that we would have had to carry on our back. We were looking for anything for her. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
And those desert cats are not as big as our mountain cats at all.
No, they're not. They're not. So that's why I was manifesting that jaguar. Man, I want to catch that jaguar. You know, just to get a good picture.
I would have hated for you to see to catch one. You'd have been the cock of the walk, bro.
You know, it doesn't mean your dogs are any better.
Chris would have called ESPN and tried to get an ESPY for that.
I would have. I'd have been on the corner selling pictures down right there in Dallas.
Right.
Well, now that the news stations told what mountain range that Jason caught that cat on camera, how many houndsmen and how many new houndsmen are down in that area trying to catch that cat?
You know, he probably could have BS'd them too.
Yeah, it's a hard area anyways, and it's dry ground, and you know, and I'm not gonna say names. There's a lot of people down there, that are hardcore dry hound people that are not far from that. You know, so I don't know if it's going to be that easy to catch a jaguar. Anyways, you might get lucky and run across them. You know what I mean? But
right.
Sounds like they're just travelers, huh?
Well, so I talked to a deer hunter that's part of some border bow hunting group out of Alaska. He's from Alaska. And he said he caught a jaguar track over where I was hunting a couple months ago. You know, does he know what a jaguar track looks like? How many times, Sonny, someone said, come run this lion, and it's a damn wolf or big dog track. You know what I mean?
Every time.
And what do they say about lion tracks? You can make a lion track out of a dog track, but you can't make a dog track out of a lion track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and you know, when you're looking and you're looking and you're looking and you haven't seen a track, you can try to make a track, but when you see a lion track, you're like, that's a lion track.
No, it's like I was telling that client that I had last week from Oklahoma. I said, when you see a lion track, it's almost like it sticks out, like it like shines. You'll know. You can't mistake it. You know, I could be doing 50 miles an hour down the road, and I see a lion track. It's like it like glows or something.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You know,
people trying to call me. Yeah, no, and if, like I said, if you're looking all day, your eyes, you take any track you can get and you double check it. But like you said, once that line track, it's like, bing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're like, why would you even look at that other track down the road?
Because we're wanting to find a lion track.
That's what I was saying. You can make a lion track out of a dog track all day long, but you cannot make a dog track out of a lion track.
Right.
Oh, and I imagine those. Benny was saying that those jaguar tracks are a little bit rounder and bigger, you know, and I'm sure obviously they're probably bigger because I think your small ones are 180, 200 pounds, right? Oh, we lost Sonny.
Uh-oh. Talk about technical difficulties.
Yeah. I got good service now. Every time I got good service, I get something happens. My camera or my microphone.
Do you know what kind of range those Jaguars have compared to like a mountain lion?
They come out of Mexico and they travel. So
Right.
any of those are coming out of Mexico.
Right.
So in that border, you've been down to that border, haven't you, Sonny?
Oh yeah.
Or whatever you call it. It's not a border. It's a barbed wire fence with some railroad tracks that are just kind of crossed.
Yeah. Railroad ties.
Yeah. It's just stupid. Well, over there, it's the railroad tracks. They weld them together. I'm sure the further down the road they get, it gets cheaper and cheaper.
Right.
And it's mainly for cars, but you can go through it,
So anyways, Brice, he's a military, he's a vet, and I met him on he just kind of reached out to me, and he's actually one of my ambassadors now. We've become pretty good friends, and he really supports our organization, and we'll let Brice tell you all about him and what he thinks that Sportsmen for Heroes did for him.
Yeah, so I met Sonny through a Facebook post of all things, and had hit him up about, I believe, a coos deer hunt, and one thing led to another, and found out that I was a vet, and started telling me about the Sportsmen for Heroes Foundation. So he was coming down to Cave Creek for Bike Week, so I met him and Amber for breakfast one morning, and sat down, had breakfast with him, and it's just like I had known this guy my entire life. Like it's there's something about him. A lot of guys will say, oh, Sonny's rough and gruff and rough around the edges, but he is, but we all are. You know what I mean?
He is.
But I'll tell you one thing about him. He's got a fucking heart of gold, and he's doing really fucking awesome things for the veteran community, for the hunting community, for the state of Arizona as a whole, and the entire mission and the entire Sportsmen for Heroes team. I mean, there's countless and countless of people that are involved. Even behind the scenes, there's people that you probably wouldn't think or wouldn't know that they're involved, but they are. They're doing different things and setting up these dinners and reaching out to different sponsors and just doing a lot of work. I mean, it's a 365-day effort. It's really no days off. And so I deployed with the Army and came home and lost a brother to suicide, and like many of us have. So I grew up hunting and fishing back home in Missouri, is where I'm originally from, and grew up hunting and fishing. I work in the oil and gas pipeline industry, so I travel for years and still travel, and got away from hunting for a long time just because I was traveling all the time. Moved back to Arizona and went through the whole drinking and spiraling out of control and doing dumb shit, and I met Sonny, and Sonny took me on my first bear hunt. Killed my first bear on my birthday 2 years ago. Got me an elk tag, and I was able to harvest that bull right there behind me hanging up. That's my second bull that I've been fortunate enough to take here in Arizona. Like I said, it was just like I hit the ground running, me and him together, and I've not looked back one time. There's just been some really fucking memorable moments and some healing moments, I guess, that you could use that word, at bear camp, when he brings all those veterans in, and then the community that comes in and supports everybody, the different people that I have been able to meet and become friends with, become family with, it's just really freaking tremendous. I've been able to help spread the message and reaching out to vets and getting vets, into the program, getting them some tags. So I jumped in feet first, and like I said, haven't looked back. I'm part owner of a game call company. So I started making some elk calls. Sonny was, trial running those for me and telling me what I needed to do, which direction I needed to go, and help me get those jokers dialed in. And so now the team is using elk calls that I make and build. And like I said, it's just I've been part of various nonprofit organizations throughout the years, and they all do great things, right? And some of them succeed, some of them fail, some of them get blinded by the money, and some of them stay mission focused and stay driven and stay true to their roots. And I will say that Sonny and the Sportsmen for Heroes team are truly grounded and are staying focused to the mission, and not letting greed or notoriety or any of that stuff go to their head. That ain't what it's about. And Sportsmen are Heroes, it's not about Sonny Topia. It's about the community that he's building, and it's about the community that he's giving back to and that he is helping. And Sonny, Devin, Shane, Amber, Doyle, Sarge. The list goes on and on and on. So I freaking love it. I'm up there. I bought land right next door to Sonny because that's how much it means to me. And he found me a couple acres, literally right on the other side of the mountain from where he lives. So I snatched that up and bought it just because that's how much Sportsmen's for Heroes means to me, and I'm all in. So it's been nothing but great to me, and the veterans that I've gotten involved, the active duty folks that I've gotten involved, have had nothing but great things to say about the entire program and the entire team and their experiences that they've gotten to take part of so far.
Damn, Sonny. I don't know how much that cost you for him to say that, but hey, send me a Zelle. I need somebody talking about me.
I have to dig deep in my pockets.
I know. Jarrod jumped in.
Like I told you, the first guy I ever took when I started, donating hunts to veterans was a double amputee guy. And man, this dude was the double tough, and he didn't want no one to help him, but we caught a bear up on this pretty steep mountain, and me and a buddy, it was just me and a buddy and him. And this guy was, he was a stout guy, and he didn't have no legs. He was amputee from the knee down, and he said he didn't like prosthetics. So he wore these, he's almost like walking on his knees. And I threw him on my back, and I could only go about 100, 150 yards with him, because this guy was probably still with no legs. He still was almost 180 pounds. So that was my first run with, having a vet, a wounded vet. But that from ever since I had him, and it changed my life, and I never wanted to not take vets. And, and now I get to, I always had it opened up to mobility impaired kids, but now I'm trying to reach out to more kids that are, mobility or terminal or whatever. And like that little Jackson, he's at bear camp that I try to get you to come every year. Man, he had when we just introduced him, he had everybody was in tears, over this kid. He's 15 years old, and his time is limited, and it's sad to even have to even think of that. But this kid he had a smile on his face every day. He never was sad. Oh, yeah. It was crazy, man.
And that goes back to size. Whether you got that kid a 10-pound bear or a 1,000-pound bear, that memory is the same.
Right.
Period.
Right.
You're never going to wipe that smile off that kid's face.
No.
We got it all on video. The whole thing's on video. I haven't posted it, but it wasn't about that bear. It was about a community coming together and taking a kid that they didn't even know to make it feel like that he was one of them, and that kid felt like he was king of the world, buddy. And money can't buy that, and to me, you guys can give me shit about the size of the bear that he killed, but it was a boar, and it was a legal bear.
Did you get a lot of shit on the internet for that? I just joke with you about it.
No,
But
I didn't. But whenever we went to check it in, the warden kind of gave a shit about it, which was I made a big deal about that because that really pissed me off. I didn't go with them to
like in
check
front
that
of the
bear
kid.
right in front of the kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I was livid, man. When they came back and they told me, I called up there and I talked to the head cheese and I said, listen, this ain't gonna happen. It was the
Yeah, it
legal
shouldn't.
bear. Oh, I was pissed.
Yep.
He made him call him and apologize. But to me, it's still you just if you're in a professional limelight, you don't handle shit like that. You know, you just really don't.
Well, if it's a legal bear, you have nothing to say, or any animal.
You
If
have
it's a legal
nothing to
animal,
say. You have nothing to say.
whether it's a spike you can hang a ring on and it's still legal. I mean,
Right. Yeah, and
unless
I
you're
mean,
unless you're like me, and then I call you and say, "What the hell, Sonny?"
but
I've taken kids
me,
hunting. I've taken kids hunting, and I've seen kids. I've seen their look on their face when they get something. You know what I mean? And,
didn't you take that kid or a girl or someone in a wheelchair?
yeah. Oh man, what a tough hunt. We didn't get her nothing, but we had people chasing bear down in between 2 and 96 Road. We had 3 bear down there. I thought I was getting, and the gal only weighed 80 pounds. I just throw her on my back and go. But
Right.
we tried, and that's the one you try to get next to the road, and but
And you try
yeah,
harder than most.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I tell you, I was
Jarrod,
fortunate.
I hear Jarrod in there. Jarrod is
Hey, what's
there.
up?
Are you driving?
Yeah, I'm still running around doing chores.
His animals are like 6 miles away.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I think everybody's went through that before in life.
Oh,
Having to
yeah.
go to another property and feed. He was down there hunting
Oh,
with me.
my mules are 2
I,
miles from my house.
yep. I did the same thing. Had all my animals, horses, dogs up on another property, and I'd have to go feed them every night and every morning.
Yeah, it gets
So,
rough. Right.
Yep.
mhm. But yeah, that's why I'm trying to start that campfire roots. And I'm going to concentrate on kids. I'm going to concentrate on kids that don't have a father figure or any family that can
Are
take
you
them
starting
out.
nonprofit?
I started it already. Remember I talked to you about last year?
Right.
It's
Did you
going
get
through the whole
paperwork?
501c3 right now.
Oh,
So
nice.
I think I just signed the last papers last week or a couple weeks ago.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
I just had my CPA do it, man. I'm like, yeah, you just do it. And
Right.
I'm not a tax guy and I'm not a
Right.
numbers guy. I can spend the money. You just got to tell me where to write it off.
Right.
So
Right.
that's my goal, just to get kids outdoors, because I think these days you got to take away the tablets. You know what I mean? And it's those tablets and those phones you might as well shoot yourself up with heroin and get addicted to heroin. That's how damaging those are.
It's the same. Yeah, you can't
Mhm.
never put your phone down. Most people.
No,
You
you
know,
can't.
It's destroying our society.
It is. It's convenient, but
Yep.
you're like my kids. We took the tablets away for the last 3 weeks, and they're like, when you need mama and daddy time, go play your tablets, and they will. You know what I mean? If we go to town and they're staying home by themselves, get on your tablets. But any other time, I just don't do it. And any kind of YouTube, now you get to watch 30 minutes of YouTube, and it's educational. It has to be educational. Like last night, Lyndon, one of my twin boys, he's 9, he wants to be a sniper so bad. He has a sniper air rifle. He's all dressed up. He watches sniper school, and I'm like, listen, it's no joke. Sniper school's no joke. It ain't just you go to the army and you shoot. It's like you have to go to the army or wherever you go. You have to go to the military, and you have to prove yourself in those. So he's been watching those,
That's awesome.
the Navy SEAL stuff, and I said that's what you got to look forward to.
Well, at the end of the day, if he's committed to it, he can start now. And
That's exactly what I told him.
Yep. Start
I
now.
said, do push-ups every night, do sit-ups every night. Go run, go climb up a rope, hold your head underwater in the horse trough as long as you can. Look at what they. You know, you know me. I'm rough with my kids, anyways. My
Oh,
girls are
shit.
just as tough. You know, and
Right.
you know, I've been to. We've poured concrete 12 yards, and I've had Cody Lynn there when she was, I don't know, 16, and she was out bucking concrete with all those guys. You know,
Right.
I have
Right.
video of my twins at 7 years old unloading hay out of the trailer.
I've
Got to
seen
teach
that.
them young, and you got to instill that work ethic in them young.
You know, my I think all my kids. Cody called me one time and was like, "Man, I'm not doing nothing." They hired her because she's 5 foot tall as a welder. She got certified the fastest in the company, and they stuck her in little spots to weld. You know, I'm talking under your leg welding, over your head welding in a 4x4 box or, you know, a corner. And she's like, "Man, I'm not doing nothing." I said, "They didn't hire you to do nothing. They hired you to weld in small spots."
Right.
But her worthlessness was me calling her worthless when she was a kid. That's worthless. Don't you? So now other people's worthless is 10 times lower than mine. You know what I mean? They were raised to don't just stand there, ask what you need to do. It's just not how it is these days.
Well,
Not.
you take a kid from the city and you take one of the country boys that grew up where we live, totally different.
Yep.
Totally different.
But I
You know, most of
love
those,
the city people because if you take a hunter hunting, this is like in the military. You should know this, right? In the military, all them drill sergeants, they love the people who don't shoot, never
Oh,
shot
yeah.
before.
they can
Because
teach them. Right.
exactly right. And when you get,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know, us rednecks, it'd be like, I've been shooting daddy's 30-06 for 15 years. You know, it's a whole different system
Right.
there. You know, you still know
Right.
how to shoot, but you know, in the
You're
military,
not
you have to
bringing
shoot
bad.
too.
You're not bringing bad habits to the table.
Oh, and you don't realize, yeah, you killed deer. And on, you know, United States, all your hunters are snipers. Can we run 15 miles? No. Can we hold our head underwater for 20 minutes? No. But we can shoot a deer at 200 yards. I've
Right.
bumped into people out in the hills. And I said, why? He said, I seen a deer. Why didn't you shoot it? It was like 200 yards. I'm all, I got open sights and I'll shoot that deer 200 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I
Chip
mean?
shot
Like,
out here.
yeah. You know, I grew up in Arizona down south where it's all farm fields. It was all flat fields. So you were taking 1,500 shots at coyotes. And it's not the shot you miss. Jarrod left us. It's the shot you make that counts. You know,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a fact right there. Every kid should have to experience belling hay one time.
Hey, amen to that. I remember growing up as a kid bucking hay bales for a nickel a bale. You'd be out there in the Missouri heat in the dead of summer bucking them square bales. Them old timers that would hire you, they'd be sitting over in the shade tree drinking beer. You boys better hurry up. You boys better hurry up.
Or you're not going to get a beer.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Remember those old barns that you used to have like a little elevator or
Yeah.
a conveyor belt that
loft.
you had to put it up?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Shit. You had to pick up every one of those things.
And that's if you had a rich family that had one of those.
Right.
You know, everybody
You're
else
right.
had to pull the trailer next to it and throw those bells up or hand them to someone else. Or you stack the bells, you load from the sides and go till you got your pyramid. And, you know, the last ones are always heavier. The last one's lifting up 20 feet or even the heaviest.
Yeah,
That was the part I always
around.
dreaded when it came to bucking hay bales. Was I didn't mind the workout in the field. I dreaded getting to the barn. That's where the heat came. That was the hottest freaking part.
Yep. So what do you got coming up? Just you got your dinner. That's February 10th. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's February 10th, and then
Can
and then
anybody
I
go,
wanna-
or is that an invitational, or how is
anybody
that?
can go. Anybody can go.
And where
But
is
you
that
have
at?
to- It's in Benson at a place called the Red Bar.
Okay. The Red Bar.
Red Barn.
Oh,
It's kind of a venue, the Red Barn.
yeah.
So we have music and we have a band there and we have, you know, good food and kind of like we have door prizes and, you know, cornhole tournament and, you know, education about what Sportsmen for Heroes does, and we have guest speakers, and it's turned into a kind of to do. It's pretty cool. I think right now we got 250 people that RSVP'd that they're coming.
What is it cost to get in, or is it a donation?
It's $20 a plate. That's it.
Okay.
And I mean,
Even
it's really good food. Huh?
Even the plates you eat?
Shit, I'm so busy I don't even get time to eat.
You don't even get to eat. You get to
I don't even get
scratch.
to eat. You're just running around making sure shit's going right. You know, I hardly even eat whenever I'm at that thing. Even like our banquets, I don't ever
Yeah.
get to eat because there's a whole, you know what that stuff like. But this
Oh,
year, I
yeah.
think we're going to do our fundraiser banquet in Midland, Texas.
Oh,
Go after some of that oil money.
there's a lot of oil money over there. There's a lot of money in Texas. There's a lot of money in Texas.
Oh, well, Brice is a pipeliner. Pipe guy, so he knows.
Oh yeah, I've been there, done that. The West Texas thing. I've been all over the United States chasing pipelines. So yeah, there's a lot of knuckleheads and a lot of big money over there.
I'll fit right in, knucklehead, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Good deal. Sounds like a good time.
It's a good time. One of these days, you're gonna make that bear. You should at least make that bear one.
I am. I'm gonna. I will.
Yeah, you should come to bear camp. It's a great time. It's so I've been to 2 bear camps. Last year on Saturday and Saturday evening, like for the dinner and for the music, I think there was close to 100 people that came in, and everybody's driving in literally into the middle of the mountains for live music. And you're an hour away from town. I mean, it's freaking great.
Yeah, he's been inviting me for like 5 years now. I'll get over there. You don't
like me anymore. You don't like me
I just need
anymore.
to throw on my. He's like Kevin Presnick. I tell everybody, no, Sonny's a good guy. I promise. I swear.
When Chris asked me if I wanted to be on the podcast tonight, he's like, "Hey, bully." He called me bully.
You know, I was gonna tell you that there's other people taking your place now. You know, because Carl's bullying.
There's other bullies. Hell, I'm too old to be. I'm too old to be a bully anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Carl the bully now. So, you know, on our Monday night, I didn't say names, but this one's mine, so I don't care. You know, so our Monday night's gonna make W podcast. So, we gotta be, I guess, somewhat. Well, me and Brett talk about it. Like, well, you know, because this last Monday was 3 hours, and we were talking shit about everybody. Yeah. We were talking shit about everybody. Some guy got on there. He was a decent guy from Idaho. Said, "Why are you talking shit about snow hunters?" And we kind of razzed him a bit about that. Benny kind of got mad about it, you know. But I think the guy was just genuinely kind of just conversationing. Then we had a girl get on there and said, "Why don't you guys just talk about lions and hounds and mules?" And then we kind of razzed her, and then I think she went away. You know,
I've watched a couple of the Monday ones with Brett.
Yeah.
I thought you weren't doing that anymore.
Brett got kind of down, like he got sick for a little bit, and then we got it all back together, and now he cut a deal with W, and so now it's going to be a podcast too, which it's easier for me to listen to a podcast because I drive. Like my job right now is 80 miles away from where I'm staying. So yeah, 60. I think it's 60. You know, and I don't take the freeways. So I could take the freeway over there, but I cut the gas line road so I can go hunt every morning and every night. And there's no lions down here. There's very few lions down here, but it just rained. So on my way home, it just took me forever because I'm checking tracks. I'm still checking tracks. And
sure.
They're here. I'm not saying they're not here. There's just very few. You know, but so I called Jarrod. Jarrod, that's who he had me down there hunting with him, actually.
Jarrod
called him the night. No, Jarrod Fisher, the one that's in the dark right now.
Yeah.
He's ugly. I said, don't show your face, please. You can come on. Just don't show your face.
Are you in Southern Arizona?
Yeah. Yeah. Jarrod's in Southern Arizona. Yeah. I live in Show Low, actually, but I do a lot of work down here.
Okay.
So I'm up and down. I bring my mules and horses, my mules and dogs down here, and there's some Sonoran pronghorn down here, and they have a lion that's been whacking them.
Okay.
And they only have like 4 lions out of this area, and they've already killed one, which is probably a deer hunter. But I know people on the bombing range because my cousin worked over there, so I get some tips and on their cameras and people who've seen them. But it's tough to catch them here. I caught the female one time; she smoked me. I literally dumped my mule in the trailer, unhooked the trailer, and drove the other 3 miles because I was on my slow mule, not my fast mule. Went in and seen it was only 900 yards. I'm like, I'm gonna get up there, and they were treed for like 2 hours. You know, that's how long it took me to get back there. And then when I went to walk in, it was like a 1.5 mile walk. You know, and I thought 900 yards, I didn't take a pack. I'm like, you know, and I run in, and that lion was, you see where it was under. It didn't even tree because there's little Palo Verdes. It was under the trees. I don't know if you know what cholla is, but it's a dirty, disgusting, stupid cactus that needs to be. It needs to be like. It needs to be eradicated. Yeah. But they won't let the farmers do it, or the ranchers, because it's not native. So I don't know why you can't. But anyways, when I got there, that lion jumped again, and I pulled my dogs. They were beat. I mean, we were all beat, you know. And what's funny is my mom calls me after I dumped my dogs. I'm close to some houses, and they start something out of the houses. I'm like, what the hell? And they go, and it sounded good. And my mom calls me and says, hey, there was a Facebook post literally like 30 minutes ago of a lion over here in Hidden Valley. I said, that's funny because I think I'm chasing that lion. So, and that sucker ran probably up and down every mountain for about 4. Well, it was 5. They were 5 miles away, and I had to go hit the I-8. I had to ride back, load up, hit I-8, and get as close as I could. Drive the other way in, and there's only one road in there that nobody knows about. I've been here for 30 years, living down here, so I knew it was there. If it wasn't, it is now. And I went in, and I just pulled my dogs. I had, it's on one of my videos. One of my dog's ears were pinned like a bonnet to the top of her head with a cholla.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, you can hear me just.
So do you think that you guys were trailing that? You jumped that lion, or you guys jumped that lion?
I think I jumped. I had 2 dogs run back to the house, and I think they ran it backwards. And then I had 2 dogs hit this hill, and it was dirty and yucky. And they hit that track and they trailed up a hill. I think there's a game water right over. That's why I parked there. I was going to ride into the game water. I think that lion came in and ate some kitty cats or dogs or whatever that night. Went up over that hill. Like, right, he probably heard me pulling up, maybe. That's how hot it was, I think. Went up that hill, and it's all solid rock. There's no way to tell track, and I rode to the water, and they ran down into a wash and out. I think they went up over that hill, headed to that game water, and I think they jumped it before that game water. I heard them on the other side blow up, and then it drugged those other 2 dogs that ran it backwards to them, and they went right up that same hill, right in the same spot. My dogs are trashy, I know, but it wasn't a coyote, and so I knew it wasn't a coyote, just how they work. And when I got over there, I did find tracks down in the bottom for sure. I caught it. I could hear it going up the shells, real shelly. My dogs were spent. I mean, they were spent. They were just wore out. And I started a little late. It was probably 70 degrees by the time we got back to the truck. It was pushing almost 80 degrees. So I had one dog, Lucy dog, go after it. I couldn't call her off. And I hadn't had shock collars really for the last, not good ones. I hadn't had no good ones. And I've had a Alpha 100. I just haven't used it. I wasn't using it then. And I didn't even know where she went. Me and the other dogs went back, and she showed up later. It just smoked us. She was wore out. All them dogs they looked like a cholla cactuses running around. You know how it is when you run dogs. And you run dogs up in the mountains, they get skinny. When you run dogs in the desert, they look like death. Like it don't take long at all. Those
chollas chew them up.
The cholla chews them up. The rock is so
Yeah.
bad where I was
On their
hunting.
feet.
It's stupid area to hunt. I'm not
Well,
gonna lie. You
that
know,
heat knocks a dog down pretty hard.
Oh,
quick. You know,
Yeah.
when you're
You
out
know,
there 60 degrees, like what was it? It was a good weather all week down there, wasn't it, Jarrod?
yeah, it was about 60, 65 for a high.
Yep.
It
And
was
then
perfect.
it was perfect. But you get them dogs running and that sun.
Oh
sun
yeah,
comes
when
out.
they're running that hard, they get overheated fast. I hunted hogs one time in Oklahoma
Mhm.
behind dogs, and we hunted at night, and with
Humid.
super humid.
Yeah.
And the houndsman, like I said, you got to have so many dogs, and you got to have dogs in reserve for when them lead dogs get exhausted. And then we had big old coolers full of water, and we would just take those dogs and dunking them in the
Yeah.
water to get them cooled down, which probably wasn't necessarily a good thing for them poor dogs to like
Yeah.
shock their bodies, but they were overheating, and I mean it was bad. Like, so you get like one good run out of them, and then you put them up, and then you're swapping. You're just constantly swapping dogs out.
You have to
That-
kill a dog faster than you can shake
Well,
a
that
stick.
barking takes a lot out of them. You don't realize it.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
running's bad enough. It's like you running the 2 mile and then going somewhere and like doing jumping jacks.
Right.
Like you're already spent.
Yep.
So
Hey, Chris, I
Between
wanna
that
know-
nose constantly working and that barking and bawling, and then just like I said, it takes a toll on them quick.
yep.
I want to know, Chris, whenever you're going to start making videos like Brett, you going to start doing that? I know you do a little bit of that.
What do you mean? The long ride ones?
The rides and the video, the whole thing. I know you do a little bit of it.
Yeah, he's better than I am. He's kind of my mentor. He yells at me all the time. He's always telling me, Chris, you need to tell the story. Chris, you need to do this. Chris. So I haven't done nothing in the last few weeks. I've been super busy, and I'm putting together a video from down south. And then I got a couple. I got some trails over here that, like the Juan Bautista Trail, which runs along the.
I remember you said you were going to do that. Right.
Yeah, I actually went. One of my last videos, me and my sister went over there to ride it, and we got
in it
in a bad spot. We just didn't get it, and then so
You
yesterday I left. It was afternoon. My wife went up the mountain, and I waited for her to leave. So I'm gonna blame her because she's listening to me probably and be in trouble. But yesterday I came across the gas line, went to hit the highway that goes back to Maricopa, and they had it shut down. So I had to run all the way to Gila Bend and back. So I found that road that gets me a little closer in there yesterday. So
nice.
It's a win-win. No, I like making videos. I tell you what, anybody who wants to start a YouTube, don't. It's the editing. The editing.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and editors are expensive, and you don't make there's people who make $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a month doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, but I really do enjoy watching Brett's videos. I really do. Actually, I was telling Brett that there's a whole bunch of guys that are start doing that in the Gila, doing that in the wilderness. They're doing the same thing that Brett does.
Yeah, the Gila Wilderness Riders or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah. There's not, like me and Brett, I think, are the only ones that run hounds in stupid country though.
Right.
Like we're Brett's in the country like I am, and there's not a big lion population,
Where's he live?
New Mexico somewhere down south-ish.
Bruce or something?
Maybe somewhere around there.
Huh.
So, yep. But he's back at it again. He's healthy as a horse now, so he don't have an excuse.
Damn mule died on him. Big
yeah. Yep. That was a kick in the nuts for sure.
Oh shit,
So
that sucks.
I got my mule free from Jesse Poteet.
I remember you told me. Yeah.
I could tell she was probably she was a butthole, and she's a butthole. She is, but every one of my animals in my life has been the same. Just gives me trouble, and we have that love-hate, and she does me real good. I backed her into a cholla. It's in one of my videos too. I back her. We run into a cholla, and I seen myself covered in cholla and her running off. You know how it is when you fall down a mountain, you see your leg bone sticking out. And I did. I seen me going for a ride, and I sunk in. And she didn't do nothing. She's kicking at it. I'm like,
Oh, really?
man. So I slid off. Yeah, it's on one of my videos. I
Well,
slid off.
the more you ride them mules, the more they're adapt to, if you got a pretty decent one, the better they get.
She's a real good mule. They say you got good and bad. She's probably a real good one because she hasn't thrown me. She hasn't bit me yet. She hasn't kicked me yet. She's a booger to catch.
He says,
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah. Hey, they say if a mule's going to get you, they'll wait their lifetime to get you.
No, I guarantee they will. They will.
You ever hunted cats up here around Lake Pleasant, back in that country?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't even go up on the strip. I honestly stay away from all those areas that everybody goes to.
Yeah.
Jarrod wanted to go up to
Alpine.
and I said, man, it's full of snow, and then a couple guys told me that some of those roads were just packed full. You couldn't even get in them. And you know how it is. Everybody's a lion hunter when it snows,
Right.
whether they're good or not.
Yeah, you want to know how much I've seen 7 houndsmen this morning. 7, and that's at Alpine. Because I live up here.
And there's still, there's still snow on the north sides. There's still snow and the roads are muddy. I told Jarrod I'd rather run around looking for a track for 5 days than dig myself out of snow and mud for 5 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but if
I've been hunting.
You go in that lower country, you're not going to get into the snow anyways.
Oh, we had snow on the north sides. It snowed there. There was still some. It was kind of cool because my dogs would when I started up that canyon the first morning, my dogs were trailing, and then they'd hit that north slope and blow up. And then they hit that south slope that's dry, and you could hear them chirping, working it up. Hit the north slope, south slope. You could tell where that track was wet and where that track was dry.
Mm-hmm.
It was dry down where you caught that lion, huh, Jarrod? It was in a wash.
Yeah.
And
I
think
pretty dry.
Yep. It was.
There's a pretty active cat over here in 21 where I was. I've been mule deer hunting for the over the counter season, but it's pretty. I've been telling Sonny there's a pretty.
Someone's calling
in there. And talking earlier about there around Hidden Valley or wherever you was where your mom had called you about the houses. This area is, you're within that quarter mile of houses. So, and you got all those rutting deer and different things coming down there in those flats. So it's a little easier hunting for those cats. But there's definitely some active cats that are hunting down here. That area I've been deer hunting.
Oh yeah.
Got a couple old kills and a lot of fresh tracks.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people think they're breeding right now pretty heavy, which they might be. I don't know. Because when do they have their baby? When's the most time you think, Jarrod, they have their babies down there?
I'd say right about now.
Anytime.
I mean, the most times, the most often I see tom scratches are from here to April.
Yeah.
I see a lot.
Yeah, they have them all year.
Yeah, they do.
You see scratches up here year round.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll see scratches year round, but the continue in the spring it seems like I can see a lot more activity around the scratches. And, because I've caught lions in northern Nevada with no tips of their ears because they were a winter kitten.
Where'd you hunt over in Nevada?
He used to live in Nevada.
I used to live in Nevada.
I used to hunt lions a lot over in Fallon, is where I used to hunt lions a lot.
That's where I lived out of.
You lived in Fallon?
Yeah.
Huh. I hunted a lot of lions.
He thought you said, "Are you a felon?"
Yeah, no.
I worked all up in the rubies in Elko and Winnemucca.
I never hunted the rubies because it snowed in the winter.
Yeah, a lot of snow, but beautiful country.
I'd hunt the snow when it was perfect, and then as soon as it would melt and turn into mud, I'd go as far south as I could into the sheep country.
Yeah,
right. We were hunting them lions where they were eating the hell out of them horses.
Yep.
Oh, they need to dump more lions where the donkeys are and the horses.
Man, say that again.
It's all I can say. I'll just say I heard a rumor is that there's been transplanted lions, or if there is lion kills in certain areas of burrows, they're not very managed after they're not cared about.
That's what I tell Rowdy every year when I talk to him. And I was like, man, dude, it's April. Them horses are going to start dropping colts here pretty soon. I just start chasing horse herds around.
Yeah, easy pickings.
Oh, man. In springtime, I'd usually pluck 1 or 2 off of a horse kill. Just dumb luck into them by chasing horses.
All right. Yep. Did you know a guy by the name of Eric Merritt from up there?
Yeah, I met Eric. I know Eric.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Eric in probably 4 or 5 years since I bear hunted.
Hey, he's a good Jarrod, is he an asshole?
No, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he seemed all right to me. I mean, I don't know.
Look, Brice knows where I'm going with this. He's a friend of Sonny's. He's an asshole. I'll tell you that.
Eric's, I hunted a lot with Eric. Eric's a good guy.
I only met him once on a mountain bear hunting when I bear hunted. I only bear hunted for a year, 2 years.
Right.
One of our volunteers is from Nevada. He does a lot with the sheep over there. Shane's buddy, Sonny?
Yeah. Alan,
yeah.
Yeah. It's good lion hunting over there in Fallon.
It's not bad. It's kind of like everywhere else, though. I mean, when I first moved to Fallon, it was me and another guy in town. And then when I left Fallon, I think there was 6 or 7 guys in town.
Right. Shit, I was hunting over there in the 90s. But those are the cold days, man. It's colder than shit over there.
It can be. Especially in the north. You go north of Fallon, it gets fucking cold.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So this is coming from Jarrod, who had an ice fishing tent in camp with a stove in it. And it was literally T-shirt weather.
Oh,
I think I wore a hoodie maybe one time at night.
Oh, you get in those things and you're in shorts because it's so damn hot in there and you're fishing.
Oh, his pipe was like glowing red.
Yeah, I had that thing about 90 degrees before I go to bed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I hate the cold. I mean, I grew up in South Dakota. I was, minus 40 something like that every now and then in the winters, and then I'd sleep in my truck in the winters in Nevada and bedroll it on the ground. I'm over that stuff. I'm freaking want a tent stove.
We would do shifts on snowmobiles. Somebody would be all night long running snowmobiles, and I hated the night shift. Sucked. You get broke down on a snowmobile in the middle of nowhere. It sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that on that mountain man? Marty, the guy who just run 25, 30 miles of. I'm like, man, and he'd break down and he'd pull that engine out and rebuild it there.
I think Marty, out of all those guys he's the true mountain man.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. Those other guys are cityfied. Not Marty. He lives in the backwoods of Alaska. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He camps out there for 6 months a year to trap or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other person I think I really like was Tom because he knew how to do all the old school stuff. And that guy was 70 years old on a trap line on foot.
Yeah. He'd still be. He probably would have been like Marty if he wasn't so old.
Yeah.
He probably was like Marty
back in the day. Absolutely.
The guy that I call bullshit on is that Eustace guy.
Oh, the guy.
Yeah.
He's just a hippie. That guy's a hippie.
He's a hippie.
I don't know how much of that's real. A lot of this YouTube stuff, and you got to be careful. Like, I don't know if you guys ever watch the Outdoor Boys. I usually watch them just for the video, the content research. And who's to say that because the guy's a lawyer. He seems pretty legit and cool, but he'll go out in 10 foot of snow, dig a hole, sleep in it, and leave. Well, who's to say it's not in his backyard?
You're right.
He digs a hole, goes to bed, and then goes back in the house, cuddles with his wife. Comes back.
That's
in the
what I
morning.
would do.
Hey,
well, that's like Bear Grylls. When Bear Grylls first came out, everybody was like, "Oh my God, this guy is amazing. This guy's so tough." Well, then come to find out, they would be like pulling off the edge of the highway, be like, "Okay, let's go shoot. Let's look like a good spot in the mountains. You know, we got a good backdrop. Let's go over here and shoot an episode or a clip, and then okay, now let's hop back in the car and go somewhere else." So it's like smoke and mirrors.
You know, me and Brett talk about it all the time, but the you know, like houndsmen are, everybody knows how houndsmen are. They're whiny little bitches. We all know it. We all get jealous when someone's catching other stuff. You know, we all know who shoots the small bears. And then, so it's just crap talk. You know what? It's just jealousy. It's just fine. I mean, I see people catching them like, son of a bitch. You know, I get jealous of it because I'm like, I should be out there catching, you know, but I have to go to work or I'm doing something, you know? And so but it's not our audience. You know, a lot of like Brett's videos or my videos or any of those outdoors, it's all people sitting in apartments. These are people who don't get out. These are people who vote against your hunting, that watch your hunting and watch your videos because they don't know. And I think if I could do anything, I love non-hunters. I would rather take a non-hunter out than a hunter because there's non-hunters. You got your hunters, non-hunters, anti-hunters. You can easily make a non-hunter an anti-hunter. It don't take much. You know, one bad video. But so if you could take the non-hunter and make him a hunter, that's a win, you know.
Right.
But it's tough. It's tougher for us to get him to go. But a lot of guys, this year I've experienced it 2 or 3 times. I bump into people, I talk to them. One guy's like, man, I didn't know it was like that. You know, I thought you guys just killed everything.
Yeah.
There was a year I treated 30 bears and killed 2. You know, what is that? And I had a bunch of killers. I let the only time I killed a sows during the year, 3 sows, is when I caught 23 sows and no boars in one unit. You know what unit I hunt? 23 sows. And I only caught 1 the same time.
That's what happened to that unit, bro. You killed them all.
You know, all the boars got killed and the sows left.
That's crazy.
But, you know, and so you got to get people out and you got to get them. I had a deer hunter. I started a bear over there on 3 road and a 3A, 3C road. And I let a guy pulled up and he's like, hey, they seen a little bear over there. I said, yeah, I'm chasing something. It might be a little bear. I don't know. I said, but you're more than welcome. Come to the tree. And I said, you could shoot it as long as it's a boar and not a female. I don't care. I'm not going to burn my tag. And I treat it. He walked in. I walked in first, the radio. I told my son, I said, it's a little one. He can come look at it. So he did. He come in, looked at it, and just getting under a tree with hounds. He was like, man, this is cool. You know, oh, there it is. I said, but the difference between us and a deer hunter sitting in a stand is that bear looks like it's 300 pounds when it walks by your stand or you're out walking around, you know, and I get it. I don't hold against the deer hunters that shoot little bears because when you don't have the opportunity to shoot a bear,
right?
You know what I mean? We have an opportunity, so we can be responsible. It's just some of those people who aren't. That drives me crazy.
How many bears did we catch that day before you killed yours? 6, 5?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't even remember. It was nonstop. I mean, we'd catch them and release them, get videos, get pictures of them, and then pull the dogs off, go on to the next one.
You know, and I can't stress it enough, especially these lions. You know, when a guy kills a female, it's 2 years before. You know, 2 years. And, you know, people don't realize that. I'm like, man, when you kill a female, you're killing 2 years of another lion having, for another lion to have to release kittens. 2 years.
And then how, you know, so that, and you could kill a tom and a week later, another one's in there scratching his shit up.
Right.
You know, so, and when you kill a tom, there's another one in there in 30 days. If you kill a female, how long does it take for a female to actually move into that area? Because they already kind of got their areas. That tom moves around. The females don't move around. They have their big area, but those females don't just wander like a tom, from breeding to breeding to breeding. Those suckers move. That's why a tom moves. Not because he's hungry, because he's horny. Period.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. So when you kill a male out, something else is coming in. Just like a bull, you whack that big bull out of that herd. That old satellite bull hanging around.
He's right there. He's right there, ready and waiting.
Oh, he's watching that other bull flop around while he's humping all his.
Exactly. Same with deer. Same with everything. You
kidding me? Same with humans.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. Exactly. You're exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they talk about like the non-hunters and the anti-hunters. I think that as us, the hunting community, as hunters, that is part of our responsibility is to educate the non-hunters and even the anti-hunters. I've had, like you said, you've had city folks, or they ain't got to be city folks. It can just be people in general that maybe they didn't grow up hunting and fishing, or they grew up hunting and fishing as a kid, and then work took them away from it, and now they're up in years and they're trying to get back into hunting and fishing, whatever the case may be. I too have had numerous people that guys that I deployed with, or because I live in North Phoenix, so guys that I encounter at the gym or just at work or whatever that have never been hunting a day in their life, let alone fired a weapon, and they're like, man, I didn't realize it was that hard. I just thought it was easy. You just walk out there and shoot something. I'm like, bro, it ain't that easy. Like it is that easy. It can be that easy.
It is
that
easy.
As a responsible
on social media, that's where they get that idea, because it's a 30-minute video.
Well, yeah, as well as I do. Whenever you watch a hunting show on TV, they're showing the best part.
Exactly. Well, they're not showing the 3-mile hike or the 4 days of looking for a track.
Right.
I mean, just like when I killed that bull right there, I had a one of the volunteers with me. We were putting on average 8 to 10 miles in Unit 1 in Alpine, and I passed on 6 bulls in one day, and killed this one on the 12th day. So, and he's not a monster, but he was way better than the 6 bulls that I passed on. So, different. And like on my first elk hunt, I had 2 guys that deployed with me, and I had never elk hunted a day in my life prior to my first elk. And I had these 2 guys with me. We're out there learning as we're going. And I called in a raghorn opening morning to 40 yards, standing there staring at me. And they're like, shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. I'm like, no, I'm not going to shoot that bull. You know what I mean? Like, it's just getting started. It's the day one. I'm not going to shoot the first thing in day one. A lot of people do that, and that's fine if that's your prerogative. Whatever. But I killed that one on the 12th day, and the first one I killed on the 13th day. So I was like, cutting it close right down to the end of the season. Yeah. But I don't know. I think that you're right. Social media does a lot of good, but it also does a lot of bad.
You can do good with social media. 90% of it's bad. Look at your women. Look at your women. The makeup tutorials. You know what I mean? Look at you could go through a list of kids being cool, being brats. Half of those kids, I smacked shit out of my kid if they did that crap. Right. You know what I mean? Yep. And I think we'll get back to where we need to be sooner or later.
And I think hunters, the hunting community, we're as guilty as the non-hunters and the anti-hunters as making our own selves look bad.
We do.
Getting on all these pages and trolling, talking shit, doing whatever. We do it ourselves. We're as guilty as the next group or the next person. A lot of times it's good fun for us, but it still gives you a negative light. You know what I mean?
There's no truer statement than we are our own enemies.
Oh yeah.
Molly says Chris doesn't beat his kids. She don't know. Molly's my private investigator partner. Oh look, and there's my daughter. It says who?
Yeah.
Lissa needed beat. She still needs beat. She's like 30-something years old and still needs beat.
Uncle Paw says he wants to get a line so bad. I only want a big Tom. There's a lot of outfitters that don't care about the lines. They just want to shoot.
He went, well, they want that money. And if this was like the old days where you didn't get paid unless you got something, I'm pretty sure there'd be some harder working outfitters.
Yeah.
You know.
I tell you what about not killing something. I took a so growing up in Missouri, I grew up with these two boys and their dad hunted Colorado for 20, 30 years, elk hunting Colorado. Through Sportsman's, we were able to get a donated, very last minute donated tag. I was able to take this 73-year-old Vietnam vet on a early archery bull hunt here in Arizona. He missed. We didn't kill anything, but that old man, 73 years old, still calls me once, if not 3 times a week, to talk about that elk hunt and how much that elk hunt meant to him and the memories that he had. And all the years of him hunting elk in Colorado, he thought he knew elk hunting, and he didn't have a clue about elk hunting until he came here to Arizona and hunted elk. And it's like, you don't always have to kill something to have a successful hunt, to have a memorable hunt.
Absolutely. And I'm not a trophy hunter. I'll tell you right now. I do all the cow hunts. I do the OTC hunt out my back door and kill cows. You know what I mean? So I'm not. Do I want to get a big bull? Yeah, the first 2 or 3 days. But after that, I'm just, and that whole deer thing that's going on right now, where people went out to OTC hunt those deer. A lot of them went out just to kill a deer, meat, but now they're being shamed for it. And I understand, it's really, it's a hard balance act because now they have a quota, but honestly, I think we should just shut units down and alternate those units. Why kill anything out of that year? Make it better next year. I don't know. There's a lot.
Something has definitely got to change. Sonny and I have talked about this numerous times about different, the way that other states have changed their restrictions, changed their regulations, implemented antler restrictions, shortened the season, whatever. I don't know what the right thing to do is, but something has to change for the benefit of the deer herd and the elk herd. The deer herd especially. There's something's got to give. I don't know what the right answer is, but I just feel like that something needs to be changed.
I feel like it's always about the money, regardless. That's the bad thing.
Well, that's yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, these states, they make so much money off of hunting and non-residents coming in because it's everybody's dream is to come hunt the West. That's a big money hunt, and it's everybody's from the Midwest to the East. Everybody always dreams about coming and hunting Western big game. I mean, hell, it was one of mine. And it's that's the way it is, and it's a profitable business.
Yeah, it is. If you do it right.
Yeah.
But we all can't be rich like Sonny.
Profitable. It's not profitable. I have to eat ramen noodles.
Yeah.
I don't even get it. I have to drive around in old broke down cars.
Yeah. I'll take that old broke down piece of crap Chevy in your garage though.
It's not profitable.
Why don't you put a dog box in that Chevy of yours?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, that don't even leave the garage.
I know. He puts a tampon in it, parks it in the garage.
I get shit about it all the time.
Is Pavement Princess?
Right, you got that? Yeah.
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 71 Chevy.
Pretty much.
71 Chevy.
That thing comes out from parades.
Yeah, I was gonna say, comes out, gets shined up for the parade, and then parked back up.
Yeah. Well, me and Mama will take it out, and we'll take it a drive up to the lakes and cruise around. But it's got to be a perfect day. Can't have no forecast of rain. That thing's never seen the rain.
I'll take it out and break it in for you.
Oh, I know you will.
Pinstripe that
they ought to
joker
put
first.
They ought to put you on one. They ought to put you
Yeah.
a vehicle tester. You'd be good at it. You'd tear up a crowbar in a sandbox.
My Tundra's still running.
I know. It's lasted.
Hey, I love my Tundras. You know, I would love to get a Tundra sponsor, but they just don't need a sponsor nobody because everybody has them already anyways. The Tacomas, the Toyotas. You know,
I got a little
just been a
Tacoma,
good
and that truck has gotten me in places that I shouldn't have been in.
I've taken my Tundra down 2-track roads that I don't even know if it's legal or road.
Yeah, if a side by side can get down it, I can get down it.
That's exactly my thought right there. I got an argument on the internet one time. I told the guy, I said, I take my Tundra places some of the side by side guys won't take, and then he had to jump on there. Go. I'm like, well, I said some of them, stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Like, but I took a client out and bear hunting, and I'd had my Tundra like 2 weeks, and we're crashing through stuff, and he was just like, dude, I've never seen someone with a 2-week-old truck. I said, listen, if I wanted something, I would have bought me a Hellcat and parked it in my garage.
Mm-hmm.
Not a Tundra. Why would I keep my Tundra in I bought it. I literally bought that truck just for hunting. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I bought mine for, and I bought mine used, and my buddies still give me crap. I drove it to the office the other day, and they're like, man, you going to wash that thing? Like, you still got mud on it from September from elk hunt. I'm like, what's the point? It's raining. It'll get cleaned off, and it's just going to get dirty again.
Mine got washed down here.
Chris's Tundra is the same color as your Tacoma.
Oh, is it? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
If you lit up all the scratches on it, if you could blacklight the scratches, it just looked like a glowworm.
Oh, yeah.
I love that color.
Yeah. I love it too, man. It hides everything so good.
Well, guys, Jarrod, I'm going to check out. Chris, I appreciate you letting me come on.
I appreciate you guys coming on. Hey, where can they you buy your plates there, or you do it online, or is there something online they can go to check it out?
Our Facebook page is We Are Sportsmen for Heroes.
Okay.
You know, and that has everything on there. It has everything on there. But yeah, you can pay there, and there is actually a Zelle UCP code on there if you wanted to donate, or if you wanted to get in
for you. I got some money for you. Remember that super chat?
One day. Yeah, we'll hook up one day, Chris. I appreciate you and continue what you're doing, and thank you for being a voice for us houndsmen. I appreciate that.
Thanks for proving to us that you actually have a friend out there too. No one believed you.
Well, I need that money. I need that money that you owe me. I need to pay him.
I know. I'll just sell it right over to him.
He just found me on Facebook this morning, bro. He's like, hey, I need you to do me a big favor.
Listen, I don't care if you're a vet or not. Just say you're a vet.
We put a script up. Yeah.
What'd you serve in?
U.S. Army.
Oh, all right. You're okay then.
Yeah.
Hope it wasn't one of them Marines. Or Air Force people.
No. I got plenty of crayon buddies, but I ain't one of them.
I was gonna say if you're not in the Marines, you have an IQ over 70 at least. Not in the Army. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Well, I appreciate you letting me come on, let me be part of this, and
no
talk
problem.
a little
We'll get you on again.
Yeah, man, I'd love to. So I'd love to come on here and talk hunting with you folks any day of the week. So
beautiful.
Take care, man.
Guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. God bless. Take care.
Thank you. Jarrod, where's Jarrod?
Yeah, I'm right here still.
We hunted this week.
We did.
And you sent me a onyx that looked like a Christmas tree.
Did I?
Yeah. So you had that mountain marked up.
Yeah.
And we didn't find but a couple tracks. It was a tough week.
God, I was so mad because, the week before I had 2 tom tracks, 2 full-grown tom tracks, a female with a kitten, a little kitten, and then another open female that I thought was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I had 5 lines that I knew about in there, and then I make that phone call, like, let's go down here. I know where lions are down here. And then the first 3 days, I can't even find a fresh track for them.
What the first day, it was the first day. It was Monday. I found that one older track down in that wash.
Yep.
But I was hopeful. I'm like, well, he might circle back around in a few days and we'll catch him.
Yep.
That was a bigger track than that one.
Oh, yeah.
And then you you started something and caught something.
God, I still, dude, that was just dumb luck.
Yeah. Then, well, you caught that Cuda Monday.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
At least they got to see a Cuda Monday. Have they ever seen a Cuda Monday before?
They never have. They thought it was.
Go. Yeah, that's
they
pretty
just
cool.
thought they just wish he was closer to the truck.
So, look at my daughter saying I didn't invite her. She has to work. She would not have took off work to come down there. I didn't need her running off with a Texan.
That's right.
And then I found second day I drove. Second 2 days I drove trying to find a track. We tried to cut a track. I bet you I put 100 miles on my truck.
Oh yeah.
Man, tried to cut a track. I even walked a bunch of canyons. You were walking canyons.
Yeah. It was a hunt. That's for sure. It was frustrating.
Fourth day, I caught a track down by the main road. Fifth day, I think you caught that same track going up that mountain.
Yep.
And then you guys broke down.
Then we broke down.
And we were doing big circles on a mule. So me and Cody Land did one circle, too many bird hunters, deer hunters. We jumped the guys. I forgot about this. We come over a ridge, a couple ridges, dropping down, and I hear, I'm like, what is that? I told Cody, did you hear that? Like, sound like a bird. The guy was doing a good bird call. I'm all, man, what is that? And then I hear, you got hunters down here. I scream back, you got hunters up here. I don't know what you want me to do. So I was polite. I didn't know there was a pond down in there. So I ended up going up and around, and then I caught the guy down in the bottom. I'm like, going to be a fight. He's going to slash my tires. You know, deer hunters don't like dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I said, hey, man.
They only like hound hunters when it's not their hunt.
Yes. And so I said, hey, man, I didn't even know there was a pond down there. We were just jumping ridges. And he said, no, that's all right. As long as you're not a bird hunter. He goes, I don't mind you hound hunters. I don't like the bird hunters.
Them bird hunters, man, they cover a mountain range like locusts this time of year for those Mearns quail.
And they don't care. They just go in there blasting. You know, They got their dogs running. So if I'm running something, it's probably something cool, not just a bird scaring off everything. But you know, they hunt. At least they're hunting.
Yeah.
We'll vote for our side.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there was a bunch of cattle. They were dumping cattle in that little circle. So.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Cody, we just circled back up, just looked for tracks the whole way, got back, went down to the bottom close to the border and rode that big area off that camera, that cell tower or that camera, Border Patrol camera tower. I don't want Game Wardens to think we had cameras down there. So we already moved them anyways. And then we just get up. I get a text because I hit service. It said, come save us. We're broke down. So I think we got loaded up, was headed up. I said, well, you sent me a pin. Then I got to the top. Then you got it through and called me, told me where you were. So went down, pulled you guys up. Well, pulled you to the highest point, and then you guys rolled down.
Then we rolled downhill.
I'm curious to see what that was. I bet you that was a fuel pump.
Had to have been. I don't know. I gotta talk. He talked to me this week. I gotta talk to him again and see what it was, because that was a problem with my Can-Am.
Yeah,
my fuel pump went out fast. So,
and then the next day you kept saying, "I'm gonna hit that wash," and I was skeptical. I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, man. A wash, you know, it's hard enough trailing in sand."
Yeah.
And, so you guys ended up going up that wash. And
we had lion tracks going 3 different directions the day before. So, and when that happens, it's always just like, man, there's something weird going on there. I always got to go back. I got to figure out what was weird. Yeah, I got to figure out what was weird about that spot. And And it was the guys' last day of the hunt, and I totally planned on just walking their dicks into the dirt. Because they were all week. They were, we can hike, we can get after it. And I'm like, man, you don't want to get after it, because getting after it, it's all day, and your legs are going to be shot, and the dogs are
until you hiked that one day, and they were beat up.
Oh yeah, and that wasn't even bad. That was straight downhill.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much all downhill besides the last 200 yards.
Yep.
Up to your truck, or 300.
Oh yeah, I picked you guys up on the other side of the mountain that day too.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and all that was we started on top of the mountain, went down into that big wash, and I hit Cody on the radio and told her where we were at and where you were at, whatever, and then all we had to do was go down into the wash and up the other side and back down, and we were on the main road.
I forgot about that too. I forget about Brett tries to give me tell these stories. I need to write it down. That's when I made Cody Lynn climb the windmill, and she's like,
"Yep,
Jarrod, answer your freaking radio." You're like,
"Oh yeah."
You're like, "Hey, calm down. I'm here."
Yeah, I was just like, God, I never heard you all day until right now.
She's all, made me climb this stupid tower.
Yeah, and I was like, oh well, shoot, we're almost there.
Mm-hmm. And then I ended up picking you guys up way up the top. So,
yeah.
But it worked out. You guys coming across, and your dog started working. You see a drag mark. You're like, and you find that javelina with an arrow in it. That was kind of cool.
With an arrow in it. Some bow hunter crippled it, and that lion finished it off.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, your dogs blew up, and you had it treed 200 yards, a couple hundred yards.
Yeah, it was just it's rather be lucky than good.
And those guys were like, it was quick. So
it was, dude. I took a picture of the drag at 10:15 and a picture of the lion dead at 10:33.
That's
yeah. I'd rather be lucky than good lion hunting any day of the week.
Yep. It was a good time. I made those guys eat some 10-year-old meat or 12-year-old meat.
12-year-old meat.
What did Jacob say? I would never in my life try to eat some 12-year-old meat. I said, well, you did. You did last night in those tacos. It was 12-year-old bear meat.
Yeah. Yep. They never knew nothing about canning or
I know.
Nothing, I guess.
They froze everything. They froze everything. Yeah. So.
Yep. I will say this about those guys. Their attitudes were great every day. Because I've taken some guys out, by day 2, and they're not seeing a lion track. They're all, there's nothing in here. There's lions don't live here, this and that. And dude, those guys every day were just like, yep, today's the day, or, just happy and whatever you want, good spirited.
And they gave you shit for catching that Cuda Monday every day.
Oh man, they did. They didn't let me live that down. I was so mad too. I knew something was weird, but because my older dogs didn't go besides one, and she's usually pretty good, and I was like, what the hell's going on? But she circled up to those red rocks where I've jumped lions out before, and I'm all sweet, and nope, that was not a lion.
Yep. Well, they had fun. They got to see a Cuda Monday. They got to eat 12-year-old bear meat. They got to eat
your tamales.
That's a lie right here. That comment. I have good spirit. I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, there you go.
And we're gonna invite her next time, and I'll show you how nice she is to me. And then we caught a lion. Yep. They had 10-year-old deer meat. That's what I made the tamales out of.
Yep. They made me the day you left. They made me some boudin.
Oh, did they? They were talking about it.
That was pretty good.
So. Chris Kansas Bear, I promise I will take a bite, but if I have to go to the hospital, he's driving me. I hadn't had no one die yet.
Yep.
So. But we'll be back down there. We'll go back down there. Like I said, I'm trying to buy property down there now. I just kind of lucked out, and one of my dad's friends has 6 acres right down there. We're gonna make us a good lion camp and go catch that jaguar.
That's right.
So,
aren't they trying to name him Cochise or something?
I think they named him Cochise. I don't know why. Is that Cochise County or something?
That's not Cochise. Cochise is farther east.
Oh, I don't. Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Cochise is by Benson.
I don't know. I should call it the Miller Jaguar. I don't know. He's the one that found it.
He is.
But
yeah.
Well, it was a good time.
It was a blast.
We'll do it again. I got a video coming out. I didn't put the Texans in it too much, or you. You guys, we just were doing clockwise circles, just in and out of each other. You know, we cross each other tracks, and I was always wondered. If that jaguar would push out a lion.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe.
I've heard bears pushing lions out.
Yeah, I've asked that. I asked that Monday, but no one really had an answer for it. So.
Well, I mean, how often does it happen where a jaguar bumps a lion?
How often do you see a jaguar in Arizona?
Exactly.
They're here. And if anybody was to catch it, it would be Jason Miller on a camera.
Oh yeah, I mean.
But I guarantee you, 100%, that there's going to be 15 times more cameras all over that place. People trying to catch that jaguar.
Absolutely.
Me, I just want to bump into it. So it'd just be cool to catch a jaguar and take a picture of it.
I'll let you do it with your dogs. I'll go with your dogs.
I'm not scared.
I am.
Scared. Oh, I was telling everybody, I broke my, I had no shocking capabilities. I had no antenna. I was using my 220 and my DC-30s, which they worked fine. I just didn't have no shocking capability. So but I did order today. I even got my confirmation. They should be here in a few days. Ordered a 300i and 10 collars.
There you go. That inReach stuff, man, that's so much better than radios.
Yeah, because even no matter how good a radio you are, because I've talked on those radios for miles away. But when you get in those mountains, unless you're up high and they're low or you're straight across, it's
it's a pain.
It's tough. It's tough. And we were on opposite sides of the mountain. So
yeah.
But anyways. So next time I go down there, well, I'm gonna have Nicholas come on and I'm gonna do a live tutorial of how to work that 300i because he's a genius.
There you go.
But anyways, I think we've been on an hour and 45 minutes. You just kind of sat there and dart and listened to all them.
I did. Those guys were talking. I was just sweet.
Sonny always has a good show. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, Jarrod, I'm gonna jump off. And I will be down there. We're going to go hit that area again. We're going to catch us a big one.
Oh, I'd love it.
Yep. So we'll let Cody Lynn shoot it. Burn her tag up.
Go. Yep, exactly.
Find another client. Or let me know when you got a client down there and I'll go down there and bum around.
Sounds good. Will do. All
right, Jarrod, till next time.
All right, later, man.
Later.
See ya.
All right. I'm going to tell you guys about a book. It's Cat Dog Chronicles. The reason I like this book is because you got to listen to it. It's not a book by Dale Lee. It's not a book by Ed Vance. It's not a book by an old guy. It's a book about a young guy who started out, and he tells you, and this is something you don't get from a lot of these older guys. And I'm going to have him on here to review it. He did send me the audio, and I've been listening to audio because I drive a lot and it's harder for me. I used to read and drive, but it's no good. And I think I'm in chapter 4. I might be in 7. Last time I remember it's 4. And he goes through the whole process of getting in the Hounds. And if you're a new time or want to get in the hounds, this is a good book to read. Very good book to read. You want a hound guy, you got a hound. He is. Nicholas is he's our techie guy. So as he calls it, he likes to nerd out. But get his book. You can get it on Amazon. In these comments, I did. Let me see if I can. I did. I do it again. If you go to Amazon, look up. I don't know if you guys can click on that, but if you go to Amazon and look it up, look up Cat Dog Chronicles. You can get the audio version, and he did the audio version, and he did a heck of a job. I'm still listening to it because I have long drives to work. It's a great book because it's from a beginner, and he literally is not afraid to tell you that he was a dummy and didn't know crap about it. And he has a mentor that he'll never mention, but I'm a PI, and I've already got about 4 clues on this guy, so I got to tell him to be careful what he says. But it's a good book, a very good book for beginners. It's a good book for people who's hunting hounds because it shows you the perspective of somebody who don't know nothing about it getting into it. The guy he bought a minivan and put dog boxes in it, so he was hardcore. Go check out his book, Cat Dog Chronicles. Yeah, it's a good live, Alyssa. It's always good. I'm your father. You have to say that. Good Amazon, Cat Dog Chronicles. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the audio right now, and I'll get him on here. This is the guy who built a antenna leash, so he could get better reception. He's one of my favorite nerds in the world that runs dogs. Done with my daughter. Anybody need a daughter before I go? I probably trade her for some more Garmins, 25s. But I did get the Garmin 300i in reach with 10 collars, the 25s. Nicholas talked them up to me, so I took his advice, and now Nicholas has to help me set it up. So as soon as I get here, I already told Nicholas we're going to have to do a live where he shows me all the tricks and stuff. And what I'm going to try to do on Monday night lives with Brett, we'll call it the stomping grounds for now, because we get Benny on there and he's a stomper. Because I want to do a little geeky tech spot with Nicholas to where he goes over something, gives you maybe a little hint or tip on that. So Monday nights, go over to Brett's channel, interviews, stories, and tales, because I'm on there and I'm cooler than everybody. And then every Wednesday we come here and we talk shit, and I can say names about people. And I know Carl Boykin was listening to me, so I'll get a call from him. He's a bully. Beat Sonny out for being a bully. Sonny used to be the bully, now it's Carl. But I still love you, Carl. What else we got? I'm putting together a video, so stay looking for that, because it's about my trip with Cody Lynn, who I'll probably never take again because she's hard to get along with. And that should be coming out day 1 and 2. It's going to be a couple parts because I have like 7 days of video. 5 days of it's Cody Lynn being a butthole. What else? That's it. I'll try to be back next Wednesday, Monday night. Soon you're going to be listening to W and hearing our podcast from Monday night, W Supply Podcast. It'll be me and Brett. So for now, you can go watch it on his channel, Interview, Stories, and Tales. Go check out my channel, Anecdote of a Houndsman. Watch some videos, like them, become a member, because when I post videos, I let all the members see it before it posts. And Timothy is one of I think the other Timothy. There's another Timothy that's one of my members. Probably my only member, but he's a cool guy. Until next time, keep your powder dry and stay safe out there.